Guinness non-alcoholic lager. Who would have thought you would ever hear those words associated with Guinness? Like for me, Guinness was always associated with Ireland, the big drinking culture, you know, that dark stout just sitting there. And now they've got this, the Guinness Pure Brew. So this came out of their brewery called, like they have Guinness and then they have the Open Gate Brewery. And they sort of opened that up to the public in recent years. And they've put out a whole heap of like more experimental beers. And this is one of them. And I read up a little bit about it, and it said they've been working on this beer for 2 years to get this flavour. And maybe there'll be some comments, but I've noticed that there's like Caliber and some other brands that elsewhere in the world that are non-alcoholic from Guinness. But this one is produced here in Dublin, and it's sold in Dublin. I picked this up off the limited release. It was distributed to like 250 pubs in Dublin, and I was lucky to get my hand on one. And from March, it's meant to be all over Ireland. I guess depending on how the initial rollout goes, maybe it's going to come international. Who knows? But I don't care. At the moment, I've got one. I'm really keen to open it up and see what these like kings of the brewing world have come up with. Pretty excited. Let's get into it. First things first, let's check out this branding. Pretty nice bottle. It's got some embossing on the glass, and then you can see there, Pure Brew, non-alcoholic lager, Guinness Harp, it's 0.5% alcohol volume, 330 mils. This is like simple, modern, trendy branding. A few little things on the back about it. Completely blank top. I reckon that might change. I reckon if this starts taking off and it gets more popular, it might get its own cap, but that's what it looks like now. The smell on this is pretty crazy. It's coming out a little bit like corn, but it's very hoppy, and there's a lot of flavor coming out of it. A lot of flavor just from the smell. So this is going to be interesting. Nice bits of barley there too. This is good. So that's poured out pretty nicely. You can see it's got a ton of carbonization, able to get a pretty nice head on that. It's a very, very pale color, like super light straw. I was thinking it's a bit like the Czech Pilsners, but it's probably a little bit lighter. The Czech Pilsners have a bit of like golden to them. This is very pale yellow. So the taste on this is pretty good. You're getting like heaps of hops out of it. A little bit of fruit, but not too much. And it's got a nice, decent carbonization, which is pretty nice. I think if you've had the Nanny State from Brewdog, that's super hoppy. This isn't that hoppy, which is sort of good, because I think this is better for like a night of drinking rather than just like one drink. All of this is really good. It's got a decent amount of carbonization for that real like beer feel, and it feels good like on the throat as it's going down. It's quite light. So it's not going to fill you up. It'll give you a taste for a good bit of like Irish food to accompany it. So pretty good mouthfeel. Yeah, I'm pretty blown away by this beer. Had big expectations knowing it was from Guinness, like one of the world's biggest breweries, best known names, and it's just lived up to them. It's delivered a beer that is not like trying to do too much, but it's not doing too little. So I think one of the reasons it has such good flavor is it has the special sort of yeast, same that they use for Klosterstaler in Germany and for Brew in Czech Republic, where it doesn't develop into alcohol. So, well, it does, but not that same, like not as quickly and not the same volume. So they don't have to evaporate off the alcohol. So it gives it that depth of flavor, and then it doesn't lose it as they're evaporating out the alcohol. Super good. See this drinking with some good Irish food, with the mates for a few hours in the pub, just after a hard day's work, whatever the situation. Lots of situations that this beer can deliver. Super happy that Guinness have made this foray into the non-alcoholic world. I read that the Pure Brew or Open Gate Brewery is thinking to investigate more, depending how this goes. So hopefully see a few different types come out over the next year, few months, who knows. So that was Guinness Pure Brew from the Open Gate Brewery. That was a great beer. New reviews coming out 2 days to find the best in the non-alcoholic world. Subscribe to be a part of it.